Hello, I'm going to show you the variety of steps you can take in order to make the little 6-inch bowl that we have as one of our kits. Now, this particular bowl required no cutting. However, I have included in your kit a whole bunch of different colors of sheet glass. And so if you decide you want to do some cutting, there is a cutting video on its own, an introduction to cutting, that you should watch before you start in on your bowl. So I'm going to leave that cutting aside because you'll have watched that video and you'll know what to do with that. And I'm going to show you some options that don't require any cutting, that's with pieces that are also included in your kit. So in your kit, you'll have all the tools for cutting. You're also going to have a Sharpie marker. If you want to draw anything out onto your little base glass, you can. The Sharpie marker burns off in the kiln, so you don't have to worry about scrubbing it off. You can make your designs and then just put your glass right on top of that. In your little bag of goodies here, there's also, oh look, there's another Sharpie. There's a spoon and some tweezers, and if you're not doing the cutting, or if you're incorporating the crushed glass and other elements with your cut glass, which, by the way, you can combine everything. You don't have to copy any particular design. You can do whatever your heart desires. But the spoon and the tweezers are really great for the other elements. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that. In here, we have a little bag full of what we call stringers and Vitrograph. The stringers are the straight sticks, and the Vitrograph is the squiggly stuff. All of these things can be broken in your fingers. You're going to make sure that you have glasses on. Safety glasses are included inside your kit. And you can then place them down onto your glass. If you have a piece of Vitrograph that's twisted up, that's lifted off the glass, don't worry. Just make sure that you glue it down where it does touch the glass. In the heat, when the glass melts, it will all melt down flat and sink down into one smooth piece. And while I'm mentioning that, I should mention that you're going to be putting your design on this flat piece of glass, and then it's going to be fired in the kiln flat first. Once it comes out of the kiln and it's one solid piece of glass, all of your elements are all melted down inside. And then I'm going to place it on top of a clay form. At a lower temperature in the kiln, it's just going to bend into the shape of the clay form. And that's how we get this cute little bowl shape. So it'll be in the kiln twice before it comes back to you as a finished bowl. So also in your kit is a little jar of hairspray and a little jar of tacky glue. So if you're putting pieces down like the Vitrograph or the cut glass, use the tacky glue with a little toothpick. If you are putting down the crushed glass, then you're going to want to, or also we have some confetti. You're going to want to use the eyedropper and the hairspray and just drop it on top. So I'll give you an idea. Say I want to do a design with my crushed glass, and I want to put the crushed glass around the edge. And it's okay to use your fingers. Just don't scrub the glass between your fingers. You might get a sliver, but it's okay to just push it around with your fingers. You can also use the tools that are in the kit. So I'm creating a little swirl with the crushed glass, and say I'm also going to put some confetti down. This is very, very thin glass that just snaps in your fingers. So this is why I say you can opt to do the cutting, but you can do an entire design like this one is done without any cutting at all. So just to show you what this one is, it's the Vitrograph It has some crushed glass around the tops of the stems. And then these green flecks, dark green flecks around here are the confetti once it's fired. And then around the outside is thin crushed glass and thicker crushed glass. So we have inside the jars, this is very fine, this is thicker, and of course we have all different colors. So you can place down any amount that you want on there. And once you've gotten the design you want, this is obviously very abstract at this point, but say this is good, I want this design, then I'm gonna take my little thing of hairspray. It is the mildest fragrance, but it does, I warn you, have a mild scent to it. Open up my little hairspray jar, grab some hairspray in my little eyedropper, and then just drop it down where I've got my frit. You don't need too much because if you put down too much, it'll become all soupy, and the pieces that you've put in perfect locations will start to swim around. So just a tiny bit. If you put too much, you can always just get a little Kleenex or paper towel and just sop up the excess, because it's just enough in order for everything to set. Once it's dry, it will be rock hard, and then you're going to take everything out of your plastic bin. You're going to put all the tools and the extra glass that didn't get used into this bag that was also in your kit. And then you're going to use the little pieces of tape that have been included in your bin, and you're going to stick your piece down to the bottom of the bin. That way nothing will interfere with it, and it will be safely transported back to the studio so we can fire it in the kiln. As always, if you have any questions or you need some help with the instructions, please don't hesitate to call me or email me, and we will work through it together. Have fun!